Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're playing in some new goodies from Tom Ford. I don't even know what happens. Like he releases stuff and somehow it just ends up at my house. No idea how that happens. I've got the new Soleil Compact in Nude Glow, the exotic Flora Cheek Duo, this beautiful, beautiful nude Ultra Shine lip color in Bear, and then lastly one of the new eye duos. This is Azure Sun. This shade here, and then the top part is like this champagne. This one's harder to open for some reason. There we go. And this guy here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys this tutorial, and then I'm going to show you guys swatches, comparisons, and my final thoughts on them. There's no bronzer in the larger palette this year, which I am not mad at. So I'm going to go in with this palette here. This is called Exotic Flora. I'm using this one just because I know I'm going to be using the larger palette more and I don't want to exclude this one. And you know I'm going straight for this peachy shade and I think it's going to go with eye well. I'm going to use this Zoeva 126 and I'm just going to go ahead and get this on my brush. I got quite a bit of pigment, so I'm just going to work it on both cheeks first before attempting to really blend it out so that I don't get too much. If you are new to my channel and this looks like too much to you, don't worry, I always buff over everything at the end, but this blended out really nice. I like the color. It is a little bit more pink on the cheeks than it is coral. I think this one will be the better bet for the coral, but it still looks really beautiful. I'm taking my Hallberg 306 brush and I'm going to start off with this lighter one. I'm going to pop it on this side. This gives me a very natural, very smooth glow. It just looks like I'm lit from within. It's not super impactful, but it's really beautiful. I'm going to use the other shade on the opposite side. I like the golden sheen on this one. This one's even more natural on my skin tone. It's almost like my skin tone and it just has a glow to it. I'm taking the lighter one and running it down my nose. And then also the Cupid's bow. I am going to mix the two, so I'm going to add a little bit of the gold and add a little bit of white of this side just to even them out. But just for another reference, this is the lighter white shade, and this is the more golden one. I'm going to buff over everything with my Sisley powder and my Mer The Powder brush, and then we will get into the eye look. I'm starting off with MAC Kid on a NARS 42. I'm going to use this as my transition shade. If you're not aware, MAC just brought this back out. I'm not sure if it's going to be permanent or not, but if you've been wanting MAC Kid and a few other shades that have been discontinued in the past, they are back out right now. If you're also wondering why I have one eye done, or not done, but started, this eye I started and I didn't end up liking what I was doing, so I started over off camera and made sure I liked where it was going before I restarted again. Sometimes you just have to abort and start over. I don't usually plan out looks, I just kind of feel it and do it, so sometimes it doesn't always work out. Same shade and Delium 781 underneath the lower lash line. I already had that color there because I didn't remove the lower lash line, but I'm just going to do it again so you guys can see. Now I'm taking Azure Sun from Tom Ford on a Wayne Goss number 20. I'm starting off in the crease and on the outer corner, and I'm going to pack the majority of the pigment there. Then as I blend it, it will become a little bit lighter, and that's when I want to start kind of blending it upward. Just soft little strokes. Take your time with this so you don't end up kind of patchy or anything. I want to make sure this is high enough so that when I look straight on, you can still see the blue. And I don't want it to just be a straight line in the crease. I have not dipped back into the product yet. I'm just blending everything upward. Dipping back into Azure Sun, and I'm going to further deepen up the crease and the outer V. This little tapping motion will deposit the pigment without it really blending it out too much. And then again, I will slowly work up the excess to match this other eye. take your time. Do not rush this. I'm going to take that same brush and lightly apply the product, wipe the brush off, and then start to blend it out slowly. Linda Hallberg 304 and a little bit more of MAC Kid, and I'm going to blend this edge out. And I'm using this brush because it's stiffer and I want it to be able to move the cream product if I need it to blend a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of Too Faced glitter glue and tap it right on that empty space. Now, if you want this to be like a cut crease, you could use concealer and cut it out. I don't want it to be that defined, but you could totally do that. And if you don't want it to be this glittery, you could use just the product I'm about to use dry, no extra glitter glue. Make sure you tap this out if you're using glitter glue though, because you don't want a harsh line where the glue just stops. I've cleaned the glitter glue off of my finger, and now I'm just going to tap the top part of the duo on that empty spot first, because that's where I want it to be the majority of the product. I want it to be most pigmented there. And then I am going to go upward so I get a little bit of that sparkle all over where the blue is. MAC 242 and the lighter highlight shade from the bigger Soleil palette. I'm going to pop this at the brow arch and the inner corner. And then one last blend with that 306, no additional product. I finished off the eyes using the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen at the upper lash line, and then in my lower rim I used Linda Hallberg's Crayon in Atria Flash, just a bright royal blue. I just wanted to add just a little something there. And then of course a Kiss Ritzy Lash. And now we're gonna finish the lips. I have on already the liner from MAC in Oak. I lined the lips and then halfway filled them in, and now we're going to apply Bare. And this is in the Ultra Shine Lip Formula. This is such a good nude. I've been into nudes, you guys know, so I'm just gonna pop this guy on. It is so stinking beautiful. I love this formula. It feels really nice. It's got a good pigmentation. It's not sheer. It's not too much. It's really nice and comfortable on the lips as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into the swatches of the products, my thoughts on them, and then some comparisons as well. Now these products are obviously brand new, but I find them to be very similar to products that have been in the past. This one right here, the highlighting and blush palette, it does not have the bronzer in there, but it's very similar to this one here. This is the Afternooner. This guy, I'm gonna show you side by side. There you go, you can see the colors right here. So I find that the blush is extremely similar. The new one is slightly deeper though. And then the two highlights on top, these are almost identical. I would say that the new palette is slightly more gold, but honestly, these are extremely similar. And then Exotic Flora, I wanted to compare up against Paradise Lust. This one is a blush and highlighter duo, and this is both blushes, but this shade down here is extremely similar, like almost identical. This one is a hair darker and slightly more coral, but I mean, I don't think you're gonna see the difference at all on the cheeks. If you have the Paradise Lust duo and then you also have the Afternooner and you're considering these products, keep that in mind because they are extremely similar. For me, I'm happy that I have both, but I don't see everybody really needing that if you have the others. Both of the highlights in here are very subtle. They're very glow from within. They are not going to be super impactful. I personally like that, and I've always found that to be the case with these type of palettes, so I don't mind it, but I also don't think this is going to work on a lot of darker skin tones. Really, I don't even know about, it might go up to medium, and that's about it. The Ultra Shine in Bare, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I love the color. I love the formula. It's a knockout. The same goes for this duo here, Azure Sun. I just think this is so stunning. Obviously, when you add the glitter on and you blend it out, it is a little bit more blue, but if you wanted to get this type of color, you would just need to pack it on the lid and not blend it out as much. It's so gorgeous. All right, you guys, that is it. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know down below if you're picking any of these products up, if you're not really interested. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.